All right, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the first workshop of the Pratt and Whitney Invention Convention Singapore Open Nationals. I am Professor Prototype, your host for the introduction to this Invention Sprint Challenge. So the Singapore Open Nationals is a celebration of the achievements of the emerging young inventors' journey, and it is a platform where every child has the chance to follow their natural curiosity, invent creative solutions to problems, and be inspired to achieve their highest level of personal achievement. We have an exciting lineup happening for you over these 5 days, so check out the program schedule at the event stage. We encourage you to watch the live judging sessions to meet the inventors, and you can even ask them questions too. So today we have a special guest here, Yiping, co-founder of IDE Academy and KidsGlobal. He will be introducing the STEMIE framework and more details about the Invention Sprint Challenge. So grab your pencils and paper and get started with us. Take it away, Yiping.
Thank you, Professor Prototype. Just to check, can you guys see the screen? Yes? Great. Okay, good morning, boys and girls. I'm teacher Yiping, and welcome to Invention Convention 2021, where we celebrate young inventors like yourselves. So we know that inventors make useful things that solve problems and make our lives better. Today, we're going to learn about how inventors invent and the techniques they use to invent cool stuff. We also have an invention challenge today, where you can use your new skills to win some cool prizes too. So are we ready to start? Great. Let's go. So how can we start inventing? Teacher Yiping is going to explain the 7 steps of inventing and show you how you can become an inventor using a technique called Scamper. What are the 7 steps of inventing? Firstly, we need to identify a problem we want to solve. For example, my shoes get wet on a rainy day. How can I solve the problem of shoes getting wet? Now, after we have identified the problem we want to solve, we will conduct some research about the problem to understand the problem better. This can be done by talking to people or looking for information at the library or using the internet. We do this to find out if other people also have the same problem, how they solve the problem, and if there are already solutions to the problem. After we have understood the problem, we can then start thinking about different ideas of how we can solve the problem. This process is called ideating. Oops. Okay, my slides are not moving. Sorry. This process is called ideating. Next, we will have to, now that we have understood the problem, where am I? Oh, ideating, okay. So this process is ideating. It is best to draw our ideas on paper rather than just to think about them. Next, we will need to decide on the final idea to start designing our final prototype to build. This is the stage where we will need to finalize the details on parts, materials, measurements, and how the final prototype will be put together. With the specifications, we can now start to build our invention. Sometimes we may need help with building our invention, so design details are extremely important. After we have built our prototype, we will need to test the invention to see if it works. Letting other people use our invention and getting their feedback can help us make our inventions even better. Now, once you are convinced that the invention is ready, the last step is to tell the whole world about it. So we learn how to communicate. So these are the 7 steps of invention. Identify, understand, ideate, design, build, test, and communicate. And remember, inventing is an iterative process. This means that sometimes when things don't work, we can go back to each of these steps to rework. Now that we have learned the 7 steps of inventing, let's look at how we can generate ideas for our inventions. So we are learning a method called Scamper. Scamper is a method that many inventors use when they are thinking of ideas to solve their problems. Each of the letters in Scamper stands for a technique we can use when thinking of ideas. The first letter S in Scamper stands for substitute. When we look at a problem, we can start thinking about how we can substitute or replace something to solve the problem. Let's look at this pair of shoes. It uses shoelaces to tighten the shoes so that the shoes don't fall off. But tying shoelaces are troublesome, and some young kids probably don't know how to tie shoelaces. So what can we use to substitute or replace the shoelaces to solve the problem? Well, if you say Velcro, you're right. We have shoes that uses Velcro instead of shoelaces. Now, what other substitutes can you think of to replace shoelaces to solve the problem of shoelaces coming off or the shoes coming off completely? So this is substitute. Now let's look at the next letter. The next letter C in Scamper stands for combine. When we look at a problem, we can think of what we can put together to solve a problem. This process is called combine. Let's look at this Swiss Army knife. The Swiss Army knife is a cool little gadget that combines many useful tools that can fit nicely and safely in a case that you can bring around in your pocket. You can see that there's a knife here, there's a bottle opener here, there are 2 bottle openers actually, right? And some of these Swiss Army knives have scissors in them. What other items can you think of that uses combine as a method to make it better? Now, if we look at the mobile phone, this is something that a lot of people use every day. Our smartphone combines a phone, a camera, a computer, and many other useful functions or tools that we use every day. So combine is a method that inventors use to make inventions better. Let's look at A in Scamper. A stands for adapt or adjust. Let's look at this picture. This looks very similar to the Swiss Army knife, but you can see that it contains 2 other tools that we didn't see before. So this is a form of adapting or adjusting. The additional tools and the design has been adjusted or adapted to fit these new additions. What about this? This is a mobile phone with a foldable screen. It is also an example of how we can use adapt or adjust to make something better. Now, the foldable screen allows the phone to have a bigger screen so that it's not so straining to our eyes. And when needed, we can fold it and still keep the phone in our pocket. Now let's look at the next letter, M. M stands for modify. We can modify inventions by either magnifying, which is making it bigger, or minifying, which is making things smaller. Let's look at the mobile phone again. The camera has been made smaller. It has a mini camera. In fact, it has 3 mini cameras so that we do not have to bring a separate camera with us on the move. What about this? This is a cargo lift. It is a bigger version of the normal lifts that we use so that we can carry goods or vehicles like this one. So this is M in Scamper, M for modify. Now let's look at the P in Scamper. P stands for put to other use. We know our mobile phones can be used as a camera, a music and video player. What else can the mobile phone be used for? Any ideas? Well, let's look at this. Now, this is COVID times, and we all have to carry our trace together token. But we now can use our mobile phones as a trace together token. So this is an example of put to other use. Now, there are a lot of people who also use their mobile phones as a mirror so that they do not have to carry a mirror around. Have you ever used your cell phone as a mirror? Do you know how to do it? Okay, so now we have covered P in Scamper, which is put to other use. Next, let's look at E. What does E stand for? E stands for eliminate or to remove completely. How many of you recognize this? Yes, this is a Dyson fan. What was eliminated in the Dyson fan?
The
Well,
blades.
yeah, the blades, right? The fan blades. The Dyson fan is indeed an innovative invention. Not only can it produce stronger wind, it can do so without the fan blades, which can be dangerous for young children. So E stands for eliminate or to remove completely. Sometimes when we look at something, we might look at how we can remove some of these things to make things better. And the Dyson fan is one of these examples. Okay, and then we're going to look at the last letter, which is R. R for rearrange. The last letter in Scamper stands for rearrange, or sometimes we can use reverse. Now let's look at this. There are two keyboards here. This is a keyboard with the keys rearranged so that it is more comfortable for people to type for long hours. So sometimes when we rearrange our ideas or things, we find a better solution. Right? So do you remember all the 7 different techniques in Scamper? Let's look at this. Okay? So SCAMPER, Scamper, right? S stands for substitute, C stands for combine, A stands for adjust or adapt, M stands for modify, which is to magnify or to minify, making bigger or making it smaller. P stands for put to other use, E stands for eliminate, and R stands for rearrange or reverse. So now you have learned the Scamper method and the techniques for generating ideas associated with each letter. We do not have to use all of the Scamper techniques, but we can use all of them to help with our thinking. Sometimes we can combine a few of these methods to come up with a better solution. But remember, the whole purpose of inventing is to solve a problem. So when we use Scamper, we have to think about whatever methods or techniques that we use, whether it helps to solve the problem that we set out to solve. So let's get back to our problem of shoes getting wet on a rainy day. We mentioned earlier that, or teacher Yiping mentioned earlier that my shoes get wet on a rainy day. So what can we do to solve the problem? Let's try to use Scamper to solve this problem. Oh, okay. So this is my shoes getting wet on a rainy day. And it's not just from the rain, but also from the water puddles that are on the ground, right? So how can we solve this problem? I'm going to give you 30 seconds to think. Professor Prototype, are you helping me to keep the time?
Yes, indeed.
Right.
30 seconds starts now.
Ideas? Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5,
4, 3, 2, 1, and time's up.
Oh, time's up. So what ideas have you thought of using Scamper? Can we combine? What can we combine with the shoe to solve the problem of shoes getting wet? Let's look at this. Can we add a cap or an umbrella-like thing to the shoes? Does this make sense? Does it work? Or maybe we can think of substituting. Okay, can we replace the material that the shoes are made of? Like this is a pair of boots. Yes, made of rubber, right? So what other waterproof materials can we think of to substitute or replace the material of the shoe to keep the shoes from getting wet? What about, are we able to remove something? Okay, what can be eliminated to help the shoe not get wet? So you can see in this shoe, we have removed all the parts that allow water to seep in. Have you thought of all these methods? Or sometimes we can think of an idea, okay, like this. So this is like a raincoat for the shoes, right? So this is probably, you know, it falls under the category of combine. Okay, we're putting something, combining something with the shoe. Okay, so great. Now we have tried an example of using Scamper to solve a problem, and the problem is shoes getting wet on a rainy day. Now, what other things can you think of that you can improve upon using Scamper? So this is an exercise that you can do every day at home for fun, or you know, you might just think of a great problem that to solve, okay? And you can use Scamper to make all these things better. Now, are you ready to become inventors? Okay.
Yes.
Great. Okay, so we mentioned earlier that we have an invention sprint challenge. It will be on Friday, 26th of November at 10 a.m. Okay, for this challenge, you will be required to use the Scamper method to think of how you can improve one of the following 3 items. The clothes hanger, the mobile phone, or the shopping trolley. Okay, and teacher Yiping is going to go through with you the guided worksheet that can help you with the process. So this is the worksheet that we have. Okay, the challenge is, can you make a better clothes hanger, or can you make a better mobile phone, or can you make a better shopping trolley? Okay, so you can see here the worksheet. There's a place for you to fill in your name, your age and grade, your phone number if you have one, and your email address. And on this side, okay, you have the 7 letters of Scamper. Okay, so this is where you will sketch the ideas. Okay, for each of these items, the clothes hanger, what can you substitute with to make it better, or the mobile phone, or the shopping trolley. Same thing for the rest of the letters. So here you have space where you can sketch your ideas. What can you combine with? What can you adjust, adapt? What can you modify? Okay, what can be put to other use? Okay, put to other use doesn't necessarily mean putting the item to other use. It could be using another item and putting it to a use with the item that you have chosen. Okay, and what you can replace or eliminate or remove. And the last one is what you can rearrange. Okay, so you will use this, you can use this worksheet to sketch out your Scamper ideas. Okay, but finally, you need to come up with the final design of your invention. Okay, so this is going to be where you draw your final idea of your invention. Okay, you will need to label the parts and give a brief explanation of how each of the parts work. Okay, and then you will have to explain to everyone why your invention is better. Okay, so this is the worksheet. How you can participate is that you can download the worksheet, or it will be placed in the chat. It will be placed in the chat, right, Professor Prototype?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, and choose one of the challenges to work on, complete the worksheet, and email it to Magdalene at idacademy.sg. Okay, The closing date will be at 12 noon on Thursday, 25th of November. Now, Professor Prototype will now go through the challenges with you. Back to you, Professor Prototype.
Thank you so much, Yiping, for going through all of this about Scamper and introducing the Invention Sprint Challenge, which is what we're here for today. So I hope you all have taken down some notes. And here are our 3 challenges. So take a look at the videos.
Inventors, get ready. We're about to release the first Invention Sprint Challenge. We have 3 invention challenges in total, and we want you to unlock your creativity and scamper these items. To announce our challenges, we have 2 of our junior inventors. Take it away, Novelle and Nashon.
Hi, Professor Prototype. Our first challenge is an item that is shaped like a triangle and has a hook.
That's right. You probably use it every day too.
Our first item is a clothes hanger.
Thank you, Novelle and Nashon. All you inventors watching, grab your paper and pencils and get started with scampering a clothes hanger. Think about what you want to improve, remove, or replace and make it the best hanger ever. Bye!
So we've got the clothes hanger, and let's see what's coming up next.
Back so soon? I guess you're ready for our second Invention Sprint Challenge. Let's see if you can scamper this item even quicker than the first.
The second challenge is a thing that has wheels and a handlebar.
It makes grocery shopping so much easier.
Get ready to scamper a shopping trolley!
Oh, a shopping trolley! Time for you to make a visit to the nearest supermarket and see how we can modify the shopping trolley to make it even better. Sketch away the best shopping trolley ever! Bye!
So we've got the clothes hanger, a shopping trolley. Now let's find out what is our last one.
Done with your first 2 already? Well, I'm excited to see what you come up with for this third and final challenge. Pencils ready? Novelle and Nashon, you know what to do.
This item is important to many people.
Yep, it can be small, but some may be bigger than others.
It's a computer, it's a camera, it's an all-in-one.
The final challenge is to scamper a mobile phone.
There is a lot of potential with scampering a mobile phone. What would your dream phone look like, and what functions would it have? Create the best mobile phone ever. Bye!
So there we go, our 3 items, the clothes hanger, shopping trolley, and mobile phone. So here are the items that you can use Scamper to invent. So remember to submit your entries to Magdalene at ideacademy.sg, and we'll be dropping all these links here in the chat as well, so you can just look at them directly by Thursday, this Thursday, 12 noon. The winning entries will be announced on Friday, and the winners of each category will stand to win a $50 3 Ducks voucher. So thank you all for joining us for our Invention Sprint Challenge introduction. Have fun with the 3 challenges, and we'll see you this Friday at 11 a.m. right back here at this webinar for the finals. If you haven't, head to our virtual platform, and the link is in the chat, so you can take a look at the inventors participating in this year's Invention Convention. So they all have booths where you can find out more about what they invented. All right, and the activity booths on the platform, you can see for the instructions on how to get your hands on our STEMIE collectible cards. It's quite a fun little hunt that you have to go around and search for them. So give it a try. And thank you so much all for joining us. Thank you, Yiping, for joining us and sharing more about Scamper techniques. And we'd love to hear some feedback from you. So participants, you can just scan the QR code here and fill in the form. And you can also reach out to us through these social media platforms and our website, STEMIE.sg. Thank you all, everybody, and see you all on Friday.
Professor Prototype, can you also share with everyone where they can go to watch the videos, the 3 videos on the challenges?
Yes, I think they're all in the...
Sure.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Yiping.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.